If I run a profile in pdfToolbox desktop that contains variables, pdfToolbox will always bring up the ask-at-runtime dialog when I run the profile, where it displays all the variables that are part of my profile and where I can set or specify the values for these variables. Here in my example, I have a profile that checks for the page size of my document, and if I run it, you can see I have 3 variables in it, one for the height, one for the width, and one for the unit. And by default, pdfToolbox will display these variables in alphabetically order. As you can see, first the height, then the unit, then the width, and this is according to the variable key. If you don't know what the variable key is, this is the internal name that you have to specify whenever you create a new simple variable, and that needs to be unique. And as you can also see, this is maybe not the best order or the order that makes the most sense. So it would be nice to change it so that, for example, at least the unit is at the end of it. Let me show you how you can easily do this in pdfToolbox. To do that, you have to write a little bit of JavaScript, but don't be afraid, it is really easy and I'm sure everyone can do this. So let me open my profile and maybe briefly go into my pre-flight check to show you how it is built. So here we have the width variable, the height variable and the unit variable. And I can also open one of them, and here at the top you can see we have the key parameter, and this is the internal name that I already mentioned that is used to order the variables by default. As I said, we want to change that so that the order makes more sense, and to do so you only have to go to the General tab in the profile window, and here we have the script parameter where we can add our JavaScript. And to do so, we just have to click on the orange icon here and say New Script. And this will bring up the script editor, and here at the corner we have this blue icon, this information icon, where we can get a little bit of help. So we say insert JavaScript objects, and this will bring up a new dialog where I get a list of all the available objects, JavaScript objects in pdfToolbox. And here at the top you can also see there are ones that called app.context.dialog, and here in the description you can see it's for customization of the ask-at-runtime dialog. And here a little bit lower we also have one that is called order, and that's exactly what we want to do. You can also see in the description that it needs an array with the variable keys, and the first key that is entered in the array will also be displayed first in the ask-at-runtime dialog. So let's insert this object. You can see it automatically insert into my editor, and since it awaits a array, I just created that, and the first variable key that I now enter here will be inserted or shown first in my ask-at-runtime dialog. And as I said, it would be nice to have first the width parameter, then we have the height, and lastly we want to have the unit. Yeah, and that's it. Of course, it depends how many variables you have in your profile and how complex it is, but that is how you can order the variables inside a ask-at-runtime dialog quite easily using JavaScript. Let me rename that and say script order and say OK. And you can see it immediately is inserted here inside of my profile. And if I run it now, you can also see now we have the order that we wanted. First the width, then the height, and lastly the unit. So really easy to specify the order that you want to have here in the ask-at-runtime dialog with just a little bit of JavaScript.